I should remember to push the go live button when it's time to start the show. Afternoon, everyone, or good morning, or whatever time of day it is. It is 7 o'clock. You know what it is? It's the start of the NFL season. The silly season's over. It's time to get this rolling. Alex Sports, what's going on, my friend? Oh, God. Big Vito is already starting it off the wrong way with Nate Ebner. Oh, dear Lord, Nate Ebner. What does Nate have on Joe Judge? Just throwing that out there. I mean, literally, what does he have on the guy? Because how the hell is this guy even making the team? He only can play special teams. Can't do anything else. The venerable David Sills, of course, didn't make the team or isn't making the team right off the bat because the fact that he can't play anything beyond wide receiver. He's not a gunner. He doesn't line up on punts. He doesn't line up on field goals. He doesn't line up on kickoffs. He's not a good special teams player. Plain and simple. Nate Ebner is a good special teams player, but he can't play safety. We saw what happened when he tried to play safety. When he tried, dirty pictures of his wife. I don't know, Colin. Maybe. that could be it. That could be it. Has too many. We do have too many special teams guys. There was a line in a movie when the guy's like, you know, we have an entire team full of utility infielders. And some ways with the Giants, you get concerned that we got a lot of special teams guys. They don't do a lot else, but they're going to be good on special teams. And actually, they weren't wonderful. I mean, they were good in the last year in special teams, but for a guy that's coming over as a special teams coach, you know, you would think the Giants would have played better. What do we got over here? We got a lot of questions here. We got a lot of rumors in. If there are any fans that aren't worried about our O-line, they're mistaken. You know what the problem with the O-line is? I'm going to tell you what the problem with the O-line is. It sucks. Dave Gettleman's investing all this draft capital, lets people like Kevin Zeidler walk for basically nothing when he went over to Baltimore. And I love it because we bring the guy over from Baltimore, and the first thing he talks about is what a great influence Kevin Zeidler was. Couldn't we have used that on our team? I just did a video about Andrew Thomas, how Andrew Thomas still looks a little lost and a little step slow. And he's still doing that little bit of a stutter step, that little bit of I call it also a jump step when he's coming back into his pass stance. He's got a little flutter on that step still. And I thought last year was probably because of injury, but it kind of reared its ugly head in the Jet game. He played better the second half of the Jet game or the second portion of the Jet game after the terribleness that he had in the beginning of the game. But I mean, if you're not concerned about Andrew Thomas, if you're not concerned that we picked up Price, I mean, I love it. The nicest thing they said about Price was he went from horrible to serviceable. I mean, I still think the whole situation is Nick Gates. I think Nick Gates is going to go to guard. I think he has to. I'm still perplexed about the Jonathan Harrison release, but I don't think he was a Judge guy. And I just think that at this point in time, you cannot start rebuilding your line a week before your first game. You can't. That does not fill fans with confidence. That should not fill Daniel Jones with confidence that you are revamping your line right before the game. I'm actually getting ready to play. I'm coming out of retirement. I got this. My son got this at the game last week when we were there. There we go. All right. I am coming out of retirement, guys. Here we go. Coming out of retirement. Got my helmet on. I'm ready to rock and roll. I can't do any worse. I can't go any worse than everyone else. I mean, that's just the way. I mean, I look at it that way. Hey, everybody. I can't get this thing off. Oh my goodness. And, you know, when you're a kid, this is like the greatest thing in the world. I mean, honestly, I should really just do. Don't anyone say anything. My hair's a mess. I've been running errands all day, so my hair's all screwed up. There we go. I think I'm just gonna wear this the whole show. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Hold on. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wear this the entire show because I am ready for the NFL start of the NFL season. What does this rumors say? What do the rumors say? Rumors they might move. You know what's funny? I've been saying they're gonna move Gates for a week now, and now it's a rumor. So did I start the rumor? I don't know. Half our team is special teams. Maybe not half, a quarter. I like this too because you go, blue 68, blue 68. I'm a red left. 53 is the bike. 53 is the bike. Sorry. How long till the new guy? I think that Price is not going to retire. I think that Price is going to stay for as long as possible because I think it's the only way he's going to continue his career. I'll put my hat back on there. Oh my God. I think it's the only way he's going to continue his career. I think that's, let's see here. Is Patrick Graham the next Giants head coach? No, I think Patrick Graham, he's smart. And if the team implodes, that he goes elsewhere. I don't know if the team's going to implode. I'm not saying they are going to, but I think if he was smart, because 2022, according to our own capologist, is going to be a challenge. Tough decisions are going to need to be made, especially when you have like you're something like 40 something million over the cap with like 33 players signed. It's going to be interesting. Giants are showing they're desperate bringing in these lines. Alex, I just said it. I was just saying it before. You can't bring in these guys this late in the game and expect. I mean, it's not fair to them to expect them to come in and learn the system and go and play. I mean, you're going to have to roll with the guys that you went with most of this season and hope by week 2 or 3. And I laugh though, because of the fact that I've been saying it for a while now. If you were going to make these changes, you should have done it, or you should have. And I know you couldn't have done it. Well, actually you could have done it because most of these guys are well, except for the other center at Baltimore, Billy Price was the trade. So you could have traded for him earlier. It just would have made more sense to keep Jonathan Harrison. I mean, just my opinion. But what do I know? I wonder if Thomas Sturstep was a Joe technique. I don't know. You know what's funny? I was trying to go back and watch film from Georgia. And you never saw the stutter step. You never did. He went back into a power stance, especially in pass blocking. You never saw that little flutter. It's almost like a second or half a second hesitation way he's moving his feet. And honestly, I think that it could be technique. It could be what he was taught. I don't know. But there's it's a weird stutter step. I've never, like I said, I noticed it last year because last year I thought it was because of the injury. And I noticed it again, I noticed it in the Jet game. So the first preseason game where some of the footage that he looks in camp, he didn't have that, but he's kind of going back to that. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Yeah, he didn't do it in college. Not at all. Could they sign Austin Ryder before training camp and have him learn? I still think Austin Ryder is a great option at center. I think he's holding out for money. I think he's doing a Logan Ryan. I think he's going to try. And the center is a weird position. It's a valuable position, especially since you have the center quarterback exchange and you need to get it right. But it's also a position I think that some teams think they can get away with hiding sometimes players because of the fact they are the interior linemen. Let's see here. If they do move Gates to left guard or right guard, well, you can, considering the times, you know what? And I just did the video about this with Will Hernandez. Nate Solder had all these problems with Will Hernandez. Andrew Thomas is having all these problems with Will Hernandez. Will Hernandez goes out. He looks good for like 6 games when he was paired with Shane Lemieux. Is no one else thinking or seeing that potentially this could be a Will Hernandez issue? I saw a sports writer, I think it was today or yesterday, mention, and finally someone mentioned it, that the guard has been missing assignments over the last 2 years. He didn't call out the guard. He didn't call out who it was, and we all know it was Will Hernandez. But he mentioned that, or maybe it was she, I don't remember. They mentioned that the guard had missed assignments last year. That kind of hung Andrew Thomas out to dry. And if you're in the interior position and you miss your assignment in reference to your block or who you're supposed to block, you're going to potentially leave your tackle with a speed rusher on the outside and a guy coming in with an inside rush. And he's got to make a decision who he's going to block. And he's got to hope, more likely he's going to go to the exterior and hope that the running back or fullback or whoever's back there is going to pick up the interior block. He's not a Joe Judge guy. John Harrison. Well, let's see here. Which player on the O-line do you have the most confidence in to progress in this year? Wow. Is Kevin Zeitler still on the team? I think Nick Gates is a serviceable center. I don't think he's a great center. And I've said this before. I've never seen a center get so many holding penalties. And he had one game literally where he had his arm wrapped over the other guy's shoulder pads and wrapped him around that way. And he didn't get called for a hold on that penalty, which I mean, on that play, which I thought was a penalty. But if I had to say who I had the most confidence in right now, it's going to be Nick Gates. It has to be, because he's the only one that's consistently playing somewhat of a level of NFL football. Oops. Let's see here. Meanwhile, that's the great Joe Judge. How dare you question Joe Judge? I don't know where my buttons are today, man. I had to do a podcast. So I jumped off the podcast to jump on this to do my stream. Because I forgot I had a NFL podcast as well. Hold on here. Let's see here. Where is that? Because how dare I question Joe Judge? You're right. What was I thinking?
How dare you question Joe Judge?
Oh, the Joe Judge lightning bolt. You gotta love it. The Joe Judge lightning bolt. What's up? It's all good. Tomorrow's a holiday. Was something that I used to say in Columbo's game. I think I taught to start. Okay, I must have missed that, Colin. Did I miss something on the chat? We'll go back to that. What's up? Hey, what's up, my friend? What's your record prediction this year? Oh, this is good. We're going to save that for a little bit later in the show. We're not going to get into that right away because then everyone's going to leave. Come on. Do you think Barkley will help or hurt Jones in the long run? Barkley can only help Jones. But the problem is Jones can hurt Barkley. And I think we've seen this, and hopefully Jones has gotten better this year about reading defenses and picking up the mic and making his line shifts and everything else, and putting Barkley in the position that Eli used to, which is going to allow him to be successful. Will Hernandez kind of I think Will Hernandez, I don't like Will Hernandez. I think the line, it's just amazing to me that the line issues all occurred with Will Hernandez. That's all I'm saying. I mean, Will Hernandez goes out, Andrew Thomas looks like a stud. Will Hernandez comes back in, Andrew Thomas can't block. Nate Solder, yeah, he was a systems guy in New England, but he should have been okay here. Paired him up with Will, looks like trash. And actually, Nate's not looking that good either this year. Still, I'm getting tired of being the judge guys who need. I'm tired. You know what my thing is? I've said this before because I'm an old school guy. You had the Parcell guys. You had the guys that followed Parcells, like Pepper Johnson, and guys that just went from wherever Parcells went because they were Parcells guys, but they were good players. They weren't. And I'm not saying these. I mean, I don't want a bunch of special teamers. I wish Zeiler was still here. I wish Zeiler was still here too. I miss him. And the money that he got in Baltimore, it's not like we couldn't have renegotiated his contract for that. I think we just got over, and this is where it worries me, because it worries me about what happened with the linebackers. I worry about what happened with the linebackers going back a couple years ago, where we thought we were sold on the position and we weren't. It worries me about what happened with the wide receivers a couple of years back when people like Travis Rudolph were playing. We thought we had wide receivers, we had injuries, and then we weren't. Creed Humphreys played well for the Browns pieces. Creed Humphreys looked good. Alex Leatherwood looked good. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Next game is, I think Nick Gates is overrated, but I think he is the best overrated offensive lineman we have, and I think that's what we need to look at. I'm young, but I know he's trying to act like Parcells. He's trying to act like Belichick. Belichick had Belichick guys, guys that followed him from guys that followed him over. Carl Banks went with Belichick to Cleveland. He tried to pull Phil Simms out of retirement to be his quarterback that first couple of years in Cleveland. You had guys. They were the guys, but Joe Judge just doesn't have those. I saw someone call Tony the best giant wide receiver. Well, whoever called Tony the best giant wide receiver needs to lay off the crack. Needs to lay off the crack pipe. That's all I'm going to say, because you know what? Evidently, since someone said that, we have to have a PSA.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Thank you, Lawrence Taylor, for that PSA today, because you got to be smoking crack. Tony never even got into a game in the preseason. I mean, and now they're potentially saying he's going to return punts versus Denver. I don't know. I am leery to allow a guy who has never been on the field to return a kick. Just saying. I won't leave low. I don't know what you said that was bad. Don't be bad. Someone say something bad. Don't be bad. As I said before, we could have had Justin Britt, Trey Smith, Devontae Brown, and either that second center or the guy. You know what? You can't. This is the problem, Big Vito. You can't go back with the hindsight now. I mean, now it's we drafted. We went through camp. It's not looking wonderful at the moment. But you know what? The season hasn't even started yet. So let's let them get on the field first. I'm seeing people say Denver has no run defense. Well, whoever's saying that is probably going to be on Twitter because they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, Zach. Really? Really? You got to bring up Orlando Brown Jr. I said it before. You could have solidified your position. If Orlando Brown Jr. wanted to come in here and play left tackle, that would have been fine with me. Put him over left tackle, move Andrew Thomas over the right tackle. I would have been fine with that. You would have bookend tackles. And you would have taken the pressure off of Andrew Thomas. And I know the Chiefs gave up the 31st pick. That was basically a second rounder. And they also swapped picks and they gave some picks over back. I mean, that was, I don't know. It's the same people who think that Galladay is going to be a beast against everyone. Again, I don't know what Kenny's going to be. Kenny hasn't stepped foot on the field. I played Madden 22 yesterday and he had a great game. Beyond that, I haven't seen Kenny. Is Kenny going to be baby Megatron? Or is Kenny going to be Corey Washington? Don't know. I think he's got to be good. We gave him a dump load of money. So he's got to be good. Pro Football Focus. I hate Pro Football Focus. I'm going to get into that. I started watching the Giants 85, and yes, you are right. Well, I know I'm right. Who doesn't know that? I'm always right. I don't know what I'm right about, but thank you. Probably being right about the Parcells guys. Oh, you gotta love that. Yeah, and I love it. And it's not, and honestly, it's not Joe Judge's fault that he doesn't have like Joe Judge guys, like good players, because he was a special teams coach. We could have the line. We could have all line. Yeah, you're right. Orlando Bragg back in the. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. Like if Hernandez leaves for your free agent, I won't lose any sleep. If Hernandez leaves for free agency, I will say this. I would be more upset that we lost Isaac Yiadom, who's still not injured. I'm not looking at anyone else, Josh. Can we trade Will for You know what? I would say yes, we could trade Will for a hamburger. Is that possible? Are you allowed to was it the movie Moneyball where Billy Bean allegedly made a trade with a team and he got his Coke machine stocked for 2 years since they had to pay for Cokes in Oakland? Can we do that? Can we do that with Hernandez? Let's see here. Do you think Crowder or Coughlin will see more time at linebacker? I think the goal right now is for both of them to play linebacker. I think that Carter Coughlin was moved going back to non-mandatory camp. He played mainly as a linebacker, and he's been playing mainly linebacker. Same with Tate Crowder. I think they're going to rely on Lorenzo Carter, Ojulari, and a band of others to be our edge. If you're not worried about the edge position, you're not watching the Giants. I'm going to say this: off tackle left, off tackle right, 12 yards, 14 yards. Just throwing that out there. Watch the games. And people, and I'm going to tell you 100% right now, Denver watch the games. Denver knows. I believe in our defense this year, but our offense is so concerning. We need a lot of breaks to go. We need a lot of breaks to go away on offense. I am not with with the type of secondary we have. And I've said this a million times, it can cover a lot of deficiencies in your pass rush. It's a twofold operation. If you have a great pass rush, you can cover a lot of your deficiencies in your secondary. If you have a great secondary, you can cover a lot of deficiencies in your pass rush. So I hope that the Giants will have more of a rush because there is an extra second or two that the secondary is holding on, which will allow them to get to the quarterback. I don't know. I didn't read that one. Oh, let's see here. Oh, the Chiefs. The Chiefs rebuilt their O-line in one offseason. I'm not sure the Chiefs O-line is going to be any better than the Giants. I actually just did a podcast, And I said one of the teams that I think may have the biggest drop off this year is going to be the Chiefs because I'm worried about Spagnuolo's defense, and I'm worried about the offensive line, which they try to rebuild in one season. I said the Giants will depend heavy on the tight ends and runs. Yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to have to keep an extra tight end, and they're going to have to keep an extra back end, which is why I think they went with 2 fullbacks. But neither of the 2 fullbacks are great blockers. I wouldn't trust Evan Ingram. I'm going to tell you this about right now about Evan Ingram. And I get on Evan Ingram's case. He is more than a serviceable blocker for the Giants. Go back, I think it was 2 years ago in Chicago, and I've actually pointed this game out. If you watched him block in that game, you would say, oh, you know what? He's more than an adequate blocker. Great blocker? No. Mark Bavaro? No. Howard Cross? No. Bob Tucker? No. No one's going to know who Bob Tucker is besides me. Like 2 other people. Has the highest ranking for deep ball accuracy. Yeah, you know what? I always love that stat though. That always cracked me up because, like, okay, if you looked at the actual breakdown of the stats, it's funny though because of the fact that you have people with like 40 passes, 50 passes, 38 passes, and there's Daniel Jones with 17 passes. Listen, if I was 1 for 1, then I would have the highest accuracy rating in my deep ball passes. At one point, this is the Jets are going to find the right direction in terms of their offensive line. Beckham, Baratucca, they got something going. You know what? I'm not gonna bash on the Jets. I am not gonna bash on the Jets whatsoever, because I think the Jets are actually. I don't think they're going to be great, but I do think they are headed in the right direction. I don't know about their coach. Listening intently. Well, I'm glad you're listening intently. I hope. Hopefully, you'll ask some questions too. Because, without me answering questions, it's just a long pause of me doing this. And that's not going to be fun for anyone. That's why I like taking the questions. I could just do a podcast. I don't know why, just laugh. I was just about to say, I could just do a stream where I just do a take questions. But you know what? All I ever do is a stream where I take questions. Let's see here. Well, I don't know if the Jets grew up brains a lot quicker than the Giants. I don't know if that happened yet. We're not at that point yet. No, we're not at that point. Anyone who uses Pro Football Focus just to the 0-16 program exclusively use Pro Football Focus. Yeah, Pro Football. We don't Pro Football Focus, man. I mean, I think everyone knows how much I hate Pro Football Focus. Jets looks brighter than ours, and they won 2 games. I don't think the Jets' future is brighter than ours right now. You got a rookie quarterback. I'm not sold 100% on Zach. You hope Daniel Jones in year 3 is going to make the progression. And I've said this a million times to people. I do not hate Daniel Jones. I'm not a Daniel Jones hater. He needs to excel. Excuse me. If Daniel Jones does not excel, we're not going to win. I understand that. I'm not a hater, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you he's Phil Simms reincarnated. I have a feeling Isaac Gannon will ball out in Green Bay for some reason. You know what's funny, Zach? I kind of had the same feeling. I predicted Isaac Yiadom would have a big year this year for the Giants, and he's going to on another team. Why do so many people put stock in Pro Football Focus? Because they're stupid. That's why. Let's just be. Am I being too honest again today? Because they're stupid.
But that's okay. Remember, there are no stupid questions, just stupid people.
That's the reason why, Jose. That's the reason why. We might be a good according to Pro Football Focus. So Daniel Jones is deep position league has seen in 2 years. I know he's just awesome. He's just awesome. He's no better than David Sills though. Chiefs don't play defense. Thank you, Tom. That's what I was just saying. I like Spagnuolo. Spagnola's defense is complicated, and outside 2 good years with the Giants, his defensive system has not worked. And yes, I understand he won a Super Bowl 2 years ago, but it had more to do with Patrick Mahomes. Isaac Yiadom, 20 interceptions. You know, it'd be funny it wouldn't be funny if Isaac Yiadom and DeAndre Baker and somehow Eli Apple found a team all made the Pro Bowl. I guess that wouldn't really be funny. Jose G, because they're too lazy to watch the games themselves. Huh? I guess we're talking about Pro Football Focus. I mean, Pro Football Focus is good if you're like 11. It's like 11 years old. And you're learning football and you want to learn what not to do. It's sad, but true. You're right. Barkley needs to learn how. You know what the thing about Barkley in the pass blocking? Yes, I understand that he needs to learn how to pass block, but I am not paying him as a top 10 running back to pass block. I want him flaring out of the backfield. I want him. He needs to learn how to run off tackle. He needs to learn how to run between the tackles. That's what he needs to learn how to do. Pat Shurmur, if all the crap that Pat Shurmur got, he got Saquon Barkley to run into the line, and he made Daniel Jones look like a good quarterback. Not saying he was a good coach, just telling you that he did that. Why do my eyes see Daniel Jones as a way worse deep ball passer? Because you're intelligent. That's why, Saeed. Because you have a brain. Because you can think on your own. That's why I like my subscribers. And I like some of the trolls too, because they can actually think on their own. Finally, I made it to the stream again. Hey, my friend, I'm at work. Next live show is, yes, next show. My next live show is at 11, so I have time to kill. Oh, okay. Well, good. Welcome. How's your new job going? If people are doing this for a living, see something in their own line, there's something that we are oblivious to in respect to the story. You know what and I've said this a million times, and I'm going to say this again, and I've preached about this, and I'm going to preach about it one more time. I don't do breakdown videos usually of players because of the fact that we as fans or people on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram, we do not know the nuances. We don't know the play calls. We don't know the assignment shifts. We don't know the line shifts. We don't know anything. We don't know if someone missed an assignment. We don't know if somebody was covering for a missed assignment. We don't know if we just don't know. And the people that do this for a living, the people outside of the New York bubble are saying that our offensive line is terrible. So you got to have two schools of thoughts. You have to decide, do you believe what Gellerman and Judge are telling us, or do you believe what people outside the organization tell you? I would never pay Leo the contract. That is a luxury splurge for a team with so many holes. I'm not issued that the contract. Okay, here's the thing about my old buddy. And my old buddy, you know my old buddy.
King of the almost sack.
Do I think he's going to go back to king of the almost sack? Yes, I do. I think he's going to go back to 5.5 sacks, but I still think he's going to have his pressures. I don't think he's going to be worth the contract, but you had to pay him the money. I personally wouldn't have, but you had to pay him. Hakeem, how you doing, my friend? Hakeem B, what's going on? Long time no see. Getting this season started. That's what we're doing. Waiting for you. How much better does Barkley make Jones? If he's running effectively and they can go into the play action and they can not stack, and they're basically going to stack the box to try to stop Barkley, and Jones can sell the play action, he can make him a lot better. Will that happen? I don't know yet. We don't know yet. We haven't played a game yet. Pro football should be named Pro Football Lies. They're just trying to make money. Pro Football Focus. I can't say anything bad about them. I say everything bad about them all the time. What the hell am I talking about? Surprise Giants to make All Pro. Oh, surprise Giants to make All Pro. A surprise Giant. I think a surprise would be Evan Ingram. I think the obvious one that you're hoping for is going to be Kenny. And I think the obvious one that you're hoping for also is going to be Leonard Williams. I don't think Leonard Williams should have been. I think I don't think he should have been All Pro, but I think he was definitely a Pro Bowler. How do you think Rodarius Williams in the slot to share with Darnay Holmes? I like Williams, Greedy Williams' brother. So he is older rookie at 24 years old. I think that the Jets tried to expose him, and I think there were 8 for 8 completions against him. I was at the game. I was at all the games. But I also do think that he didn't miss his tackles. He stayed in his assignments. And I think that he is going to be asked to play a role in this defense. And I think Holmes is going to start off more in that slot position. But I think Rodarius is going to get some time. I like James Brad. Yeah, I can see James Bradbury making All Pro. I could see that. Apple's on the Panthers. I thought he got cut. Maybe I was wrong. But that would be funny. It would be funny if he turned around and made the Pro Bowl. I would laugh. Joseph has joined with the other 27 people watching. Well, welcome, Joseph. Sorry I had to move the time, guys. I had a lot of stuff going on today, and I had podcasts to do. So many people want to hear my melodious sounds. Oh, he make the Bengals. Did he make the Bengals? I think Shurmur is an underrated. You know what? And I've said this about Shurmur. You can get on him because his shit didn't stink when he won. it was everyone else's fault when he lost. He was nauseating to listen to his press conference, but he made Jones into a quarterback, and he made Barkley into potentially his offense made him into what he was that first year. And there he goes. I mean, he helped. Yeah. Thank you, ECK. ECK Sports. If you don't know him, go watch his channel. Go subscribe. But his play call and the other stuff, he was just a bad. Everyone forgets that first season. The Giants had the lead at six times with under 2 minutes left, and they lost 5 games. He didn't know how to win the games at the end. And I also think it was a defensive issue too. Just watch the Bucs game and you will see how great of a deep pass. Let's leave Daniel Jones alone. Come on, guys. I don't want to hear any other Daniel Jones bashing on this channel. It's Daniel Jones at the 5. It's Daniel Jones at
Never mind.
All right, that was the last Daniel Jones bashing. Sherman should have been demoted as offensive coordinator. I don't think there are guys that are just offensive coordinators and the guys that are just defense coordinators are not head coaches. Just like in baseball, there are guys that are AAA players, and sometimes they're what they refer to as I like to refer to them as AAA +1 players. They're not major leaguers, but they should be one level above AAA. King of the almost sack. Oh wait, we also have
King of the almost sack.
You gotta have king of the almost sack. Tampa game plan was actually, it was actually a pain. I don't want to talk about the Tampa game. Film day, are you fighting for some reason? You know what's funny about film breakdown on YouTube? And a subscriber said it, and I don't remember who said it. They overstate and they overhype the obvious. And I mean, honestly, I should do more things like that so I can get more likes and views. I really should, but I'm just an idiot that runs his mouth. He runs his mouth and tries to give you the actual stuff. I just like pretty much all the offensive weapons that have been injured last year or they've been injured multiple times. We need playmakers that can stay on the field. I get worried that Kenny hasn't been on the field. I'm worried that Tony hasn't been on the field. I'm worried now that Kyle Rudolph really hasn't been on the field. And we have Evan Ingram hurt. I don't, and I've said this before about Barkley. If Barkley is cleared to play, do you play him in? We'll take a poll. Do you play him in the Denver game or do you play him in Washington? Because I'm telling you right now, with a short rest, with that Thursday night game, the Giants are not going to risk him by playing him in both games. You can mark this down. And I don't care if they have him on a pitch count in the first game. They are not going to play him in both games. But what game? I mean, I would play him in the Washington game. I would hope that Booker has enough skills to pay the bills to play against Denver. Do you think Jason Garrett will go West Coast offense or try to go back to Air Coryell? It's all really going to depend on Daniel Jones. And honestly, I know we put a lot of blame on Jason Garrett, but I think a lot of the offensive philosophy is coming down from Joe Judge. That's what I personally think. I personally prefer the Golden Corral offense. Golden Corral. I'm not sure what that one is. Bad joke. Okay. I was thinking Golden Corral as in Golden Corral, the place you eat. Hey, Big Blue in the Bronx. I think the offensive line is a total question mark, but the Twitter community is already saying worst case scenario, like they won't be able to beat. I think the offensive line is a question mark. I think it's a huge question mark. I think, though, that you can scheme certain ways to allow your offensive line to not be as noticeable and be more manageable by going with short, quicker passes, not going with the deep ball as much, taking your shot maybe on some rollouts. And also if you have someone, like going back to the old Odell Beckham way, you can have him, have a receiver, someone throw the ball down to keep the guys off guard. But I'm not saying we're not going to be Denver. I'm not saying that yet. I won't make a Denver prediction until like Thursday. I like the Air Coryell off. I like the Air Coryell offense too, but I don't think we don't have the talent to run it. Let's go Giants. Hey, Luann. Let's go Giants. Here we go, Giants. Here we go. Do you think that we will use Penny more after his preseason work? Or possibly use him more as an H-back instead of an entire room at Walker? I'm not going to say anything bad about Elijah Penny because his family sat behind me at the game. Very nice people. Very nice people, actually. So I'm not going to say anything bad about Elijah Penny. I think he's going to be used as a third down running back more. I don't think the tight end position is not usually featured in the Jason Garrett offense as much. It depends on what he's running though, but I think he's going to be used more as a third down back. Hey, LeVar, I definitely agree. We should have kept. I don't think we should have kept Shermer. I mean, keeping him on offensive. I mean, keeping him as an offense coordinator, that'd been fine. Let's look at DJ's first year. Great. You look at DJ's first year, and that's wonderful, but you also got to look at DJ's first year under Pat Shermer and the fact that he was a one-read quarterback, and Shermer understood that and put him into a position where he did not have to go through a progression of multiple reads at any point in time that first year. You got to go back and look at the film. And yes, Shermer should have stayed. Oh, wow, that Shermer has to stay. Tom Lou, Washington. Yes, I want him against Washington. What do we got here? I'd play him against Washington. All right. So far the Washingtons have it. Washington, no doubt, he gets your day off for 3. I think you got to rest him against Denver if he's cleared to play. And someone that's had multiple ACL injuries, I can tell you for a fact the recovery time needed because I played with ACLs problems. The recovery time needed between weeks is paramount, especially first year coming back. If the offensive philosophy coming out is from Judge, I don't know how much he actually knows about offense. I don't think he's game planning. I should rephrase. I don't think he's game planning. What I think Joe Judge is doing is just telling Jason Garrett, listen, we can win on defense. You need to simplify the offense to the point where and this is what they did for those 5-6 games. You need to simplify the offense to the point where Daniel Jones is not the cause of us turning over the ball. You have to score points, but you can't put us in a position where you're going to lose the ball. You need to play field position, kind of like what we did in Seattle. Jones is not a really good short passing quarterback, in my opinion. He needs to throw. He's got to. You know what? You're kind of right on that. He's not the greatest short. He's not the greatest short passing guy. Eli Manning. And I've said this before. We've talked about it on the streams. Eli Manning for years, and even towards the end of years, couldn't hit anyone on the screen. Oh my God! You have a running back flare out to the side and run a screen. Eli Manning. How many times did he miss him? And you would sit there and go, how the hell is a quarterback that's been in this league for 497 years miss a guy on a screen? Oh, open guy too. Off topic, best Super Bowl halftime show. I don't remember which one it was, but it was with Michael Jackson, where he came up and he popped up on the top of the stadium on the scoreboard. And then all of a sudden he was down on the field. I think that was a good one. Gettleman sucks. Yeah, possibly. I don't know yet. Let's at least give him till week 3. He hasn't built the offensive line since he has been here, even though, you know what, and I've just said this, offensive line speaking, yeah, you can't tell me that your point of focus is always going to be offensive line, but get the hog mollies, get this, and we still don't have it. Sherman was right not to call play action. DJ sucks in the longer developing plays. The problem, yes, Sherman was right, but the problem with that is if you run play action, the majority of the time, you are more than likely going to your first read. Just throwing that out there. Around how many yards do you think Kenny, Shepard, Ingram will have this year, assuming they all play 17 games? I think if they all play 17 games, you're going to see Kenny go over 1,000. I think you get about 700 for Shepard and probably 600 to 700 for Ingram, depending on if he loses time. If he loses time to how much time he loses to Kyle Rudolph. They just want to use that's, you know what, it's the same thing the other year when first we fired the defensive coordinator, then we fired the coach, then we got rid of the GM. You're right. There's always a scapegoat. I think Thomas is Eric Flowers. I don't think he's Eric Flowers 2.0 yet. Let's just give him a little time. Tyron Mikes. Yeah, that was a great show, man. I don't know how they did that, but he popped. I remember he was on. I guess they had doubles, but it was on the. I forget. I think it was in California, and he popped up on top of the scoreboard. I mean, on top of the stadium, and then all of a sudden he was down on the field. It was freaking awesome. Do you think Joe sandbagged the preseason, or are we just that bad? I don't think he sandbagged the preseason. I think he figured out after the Pats game that he probably should have played some guys, because he even came out and said we probably should have got Daniel Jones in the Cleveland game. And I laughed because I even did a video saying, Joe, you're the freaking head coach. You want to play your quarterback, you go play your quarterback. You don't have to wish you did something. You could do it. It's okay. It's all right. You don't have to call me and ask. Shermer's system was right for Jones because it was a one read throw. Yeah, yes, Jose G, 100%. Shermer's offense and even going back to Minnesota, a lot of times it's a one read offense. And if that one read's not there, there's usually a check down. And the problem is Jones doesn't really go to the check down a lot. Look at Barkley's catch total after his, and I know he was injured on the second year, but if you look at his catch total per game, if you break it down between the two seasons, was less. Yeah, Jones throws interceptions on shorter passes rather than deep balls downfield. No, yeah, that's true. He does cough up some balls in the middle of the field though, which is alarming at times. We got a Tyrone. Did I should have been fired in 2018? I don't think he should have been fired in 2018. I don't think so. I mean, you gotta have some continuity. I saw someone on Twitter say that you can't keep recycling your head coaches. You can't keep firing guys after every 2 years. Yeah, you can. If you make a mistake, you got to get rid of the mistake. What, you want to have a 3-year mistake instead of a 2-year mistake? Well, what's up, Leonard? Why do people continue to defend Daniel Jones instead of admitting he is a mistake? No more. But here's the thing, Leonard. There is no more excuses this year. And if we don't have Daniel Jones, your quarterback is Mike Glennon. Yikes. You have to pray and hope as a Giant fan, because the offense is only going to work if Daniel Jones is successful. That's why I laugh when people say, well, you hate Daniel Jones. No, I just tell the truth about it, but I understand the fact that he needs to be successful for us to win. Gettleman's long-term reconstruction plan is over. This is the finished product. Oh, if this is the final project out, the final product out, I'm concerned. Is everyone off tomorrow? Anyone off tomorrow for the holiday? Hope everyone is. Let's see. You can only do so much with the first read quarterback. The initial one of the teams as the thing about the first read quarterback. The thing about that is you are going to have a success rate where it works for a period of time. It's like anything else in life. Something will work continuously for a while and it'll seem like magic. And then the next time you do it, it may not work ever again. I think that's kind of what happened with Daniel Jones. Larry, it's Daniel Jones' fault. Hater. It's Jason Garrett's fault. I agree. Even though he can't read defenses. I don't know if he can't read defenses. Let's not say that about DJ. I don't know if he can't read defense. I think that he does not process the information fast enough in his brain to get it to his arm to go to the correct play. I'm not saying that he has happy feet in the pocket, but if you watch him in the pocket, his decision-making process at times is extremely slow. Yeah, that's right. Fans use Garrett as a scapegoat, just like Dallas fans use Mike. Michael Nolan was not the right guy for that defense. But you're right. They use Nolan as a scapegoat in Dallas. You're 100% right. Struggles against the basic cover 2 defense. He does at times. He does. Not always, but he does. If we start off 2-6, do you think they will have a fire sale to trade deadline? Ooh. If they start 2-6, I think there's going to be no. I don't think you can, unless you're trading guys outside of your big free agents, because it's going to kill your cap, and we already have cap problems. That totally pissed me off. Joe showing his lack of judgment. Tyrone, you know what's funny? Like I said, I didn't get the comment. I did not get the comment that we should have played him. You're the head coach. You want to play somebody, you can do it. You don't have to ask anybody, except for Ben McAdoo, who evidently got fired for Eli Manning for going with Geno Smith. How stupid was that? You don't go with Davis Webb. You go. I'm not going to get that. Guys, Gettleman, fine. Yeah, Gettleman's. I don't know. Let's see what happens. People remember when people called Mike Glennon steal. I wasn't one of those people. Where did they steal him from? Wherever they stole him from, you should be arrested and you should give him back. Not that he's going to be. I like Lewerke, because how else am I going to be Lewerking these jokes in? But wait a minute. Hey-o. Sorry. Let's trade Watson. Watson now has 10 criminal investigations going on in Texas, along with 22 civil suits. Watson's not going anywhere. I have no school tomorrow. Yeah, good. My son doesn't have school tomorrow either. He's off for like 3 days because of the Jewish holiday and everything in between there. So he doesn't go back to school for I don't know when. Unless Jones suddenly develops pocket awareness, we are taking a quarterback next year. Malik Willis. Yeah, I agree. He's got to figure it out. And this is going to have to be the year. I like this one. Kadarius Toney consider his phony. I'm hoping it's Tony. You got to love what Urban Meyer said. I wouldn't take a Kadarius Toney. I wasn't going to take Tony. You gotta love that. Oh, that was just. I like Urban Meyer in Jacksonville because he's just freaking honest. He's not the jaded NFL head coach. He just tells you what's on his mind, and it's kind of scary because sometimes you're like, dude, you probably should keep that to yourself. He's not doing that high enough new quarterback system. Okay, here might happen next year. Yeah, it might happen next year. Daniel Jones was showing that he's still very indecisive with the interception against the Pats. You know what? The thing with the Pats interception was I can't fault him. It wasn't that he was indecisive. It's just he was late on the play. And there's a difference between being indecisive and late. It was more that he was worried more about the rush before he made the throw. I think he wanted to go that direction. I just think he was more concerned about the rush. DJ can read defenses. I feel that in the Pats game, he was going through his progress. Actually, in ECK, no, he wasn't. I was at the game. He was going. He only averaged 6 yards a pass. He was going for all the short passes. He missed. There were at least I think 3 plays in the Jet game that he missed wide open guys down in the field. No more excuses for Gettleman. Doesn't take 4 years to revamp an offense. Yes and no. You got to get lucky. You got to get lucky in free agency. You got to get lucky in the draft. I mean, injuries happen. So, I mean, who the hell is Mel Kiper? I don't know. What happened to Mel Kiper? Alex Sports on the interception. He threw across his body. This was a big no-no for a quarterback. Yeah. Yeah. You throw across your body. That is a big no-no. Patrick Mahomes can throw across his body. Yeah, that was a killer in the NFC Championship game for the Vikings that year. I know who Mel Kiper is. I think they were being facetious. I think they were being sarcastic. Classic Daniel Jones, yeah. But you know what? Guys, come on. You got to rally behind Daniel Jones. And like I said, I'm the worst case person for being the voice of reason for Daniel Jones. You got to rally behind him because if he sucks, they're going to be like 2-15. No matter how good our defense is, if you can't score, it's not going to matter. How many wins do you think we'll get? Slick Rick, I'm not going to tell you yet. I'm going to tell you in 4 minutes. I'll tell everyone. 4 minutes. Or listen to the podcast tomorrow. I did a video about bringing in Cam Newton. I don't think they'll do it because I think the fact that if some people said it before, I don't think they want to have Daniel Jones looking over his shoulder. I think he would make sense, though. We should bring Cam in and competent quarterback challenge. I agree. I think competition breeds success, but in some ways, I get concerned about Daniel Jones's mental fortitude because they don't seem to want to push him. You gotta love Urban Meyer, man. I love Urban Meyer, man. Some of the stuff that comes out of his, like I said, some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, it's just like, dude, you're not Tim from Online Big Blue. You need to think that, not say it. That's my problem. I always say what I think. Do you think that we'll have a waiver wire move to shore up the run defense off tackle or try to survive? I think we're going to go with what we got unless something surprising happens. I think KJ Wright would have been a great move. We could have had a rookie edge and had KJ playing on the right side, and he could have helped man the edge against the run, and it would stop some of those off tackle left, off tackle right. We reached for Jones. He's not you could say that now, but back in the day, I've not standing up for Gettleman, but Gettleman's taking the Ernie Accorsi philosophy that if you think your guy's your quarterback, you go and get him. Ernie Accorsi wanted to do that in Baltimore with John Elway, but ownership forced him to trade it. He did it with Eli Manning, so he kind of went with the same philosophy. Maybe push for Rodgers next season. I don't want Rodgers. Rodgers is a dick. I don't want Rodgers. It's built on Bill Tobin. Oh, okay. I think Vegas is right to. I think the Vegas has us at 6 or 7 wins. I think they're going to be pretty close. There wasn't to argue. There wasn't even stuff to turn until it was discovered that Jones had a Manning connection. Yeah, I've told the story before. I remember when the draft, day before the draft, and they said, there's a surprise team that is going to be drafting Daniel Jones quite high. And I said to myself, God, please don't let it be the Giants. Please don't let it be the Giants. He should play quarterback at Dan. No, he shouldn't play quarterback. I don't know if Kadarius Toney's going to get in the field. Evan Ingram, shouldn't you be in the training room? Shouldn't you be icing the calf or whatever the hell's wrong with you again? Welcome, Evan. Imagine Urban Meyer with the New York media, man. There is certain people that just would not go well in New York media, and it would be Bobby Bonilla all over again, but fun. Let's see here. I'm getting tired of these mentally weak quarterbacks. I don't understand why some of these quarterbacks get so babied. That's okay though. Okay, this is a really weird question. Would you rather have DJ suck or have him really good but get injured for a bit? I honestly would rather have him suck. Only because let's say he plays 5 games, he plays lights out, and then he misses the next 12. I'm stuck with him next season. And I still have no clue what he is. Yeah, Giants should have after Fitzpatrick instead of Glennon. He would have stopped. Yeah, I actually wanted Fitzpatrick. I still was a big Marcus Mariota fan to try to get him, to try to create some competition. Yeah, I know they are. I know they are. I did a video on him. I think he's a good pickup. I think he's, I think he's a solid depth guy, but I don't think he's going to be the answer. I'm looking forward to seeing Rudolph. Hopefully, I hope Kyle Rudolph comes back quickly. Just like Billy Price, man. Billy Price sucked outside of one season. He was on an offensive line that got their number 1 overall quarterback killed. The coaching staff can only say he went from horrible to adequate. I mean, no, horrible to serviceable. And we think we got Bart Oates. Yeah. I'm icing and I'm also watching online Big Bull. That's because you are a smart man, Evan Ingram. You're going to have a 1,000-yard season to be an MVP. We don't know what Tony's going to do. We haven't seen him. He's got to get on the field. I hate damn Cavs. I mean, what did Evan Ingram do to us? I mean, did we ever get a logistical standpoint of what's wrong with the calf? Oh, let's see. About as fake as a real Evan Ingram. Of course. You leave Evan Ingram alone. Why couldn't Ingram get injured last year and not 19? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. You think we're finally bringing competition? If DJ sucks this year, I think he's gone. He'll be in year 4 of the contract. The cap cut would not be. I think it would be a Jet situation like the Jets when they shipped Sam Darnold out. I think it would be the same situation. Doesn't hurt we have those 2 picks. I worry Joe Judge will misuse Barkley injury since he refused to play the Colts and let him injure. I think the Giants are going to be smart with Barkley. That's why I don't think he's going to play in Denver against Denver. I think he's going to play against Washington because they're not going to bring him back on that short week. Not at that 1,200 yards in an MVP. If Evan Ingram has 1,200 yards in an MVP season, I will go down to East Rutherford and kiss his ass. I will pucker up. Would you rather have Tua? I like Tua a lot. And I watched him in Miami because I have the Sunday ticket and stuff, and I got it again this year. I mean, he was a rookie quarterback last year, and I think he proved. And everyone forgets what Tua was before the injury. Now he's back from the injury. I like Tua a lot. I spotted Tony the other day. Can you believe it? Where'd you spot him? On the field? Guess you would be the only one. I saw someone say DJ will be like Julius Randle. Julius rocked the mic like the Randall. He had a progression. He didn't start at the pinnacle, drop off, and then go back up again. He went through a couple teams, but he progressed. He had an upward slope. How do you feel about Mac Jones? I just did a whole video on Mac Jones. I did a podcast about Mac Jones. I think if you take a look at the way that I'm not a big fan of Mac Jones. I'm not a big fan of him, and I watched him live at the preseason game. I think he's perfect for the Pats, and I think the way the Pats have constructed their team, they're actually building it like they did in the early 2000s when they went to and won those Super Bowls. They're going to play with tight ends. They're going to run. They're going to keep short passing, and they're going to play on defense. And they're going to play defense. And I think they're going back to that philosophy. Tony was a mistake. If he balls out, he's only in there for a joker or alter ego. I can't see him more than a few years. I don't know. We got to let Tony get on the field. Ernie, of course, he sucked as a GM. His track record show he built those teams over the Hill Browns teams and terrible Baltimore teams. Yes, but he actually put together the Giant team. If you take a look at his free agents and everything and the guys that he drafted, Jerry Reese didn't win that first Super Bowl the year after. Of course, he retired. It was Ernie and Corsi's team, and he drafted the two-time quarterback. Jones will be a second best quarterback in. Let's see here. I don't. He could, because I'm not a big fan of Jalen. I think Fitzpatrick, you don't know what you're going to get, and I don't know what's going on with Dak. But that's like saying he could come in second in a two-person race. Juice kind of regressed his first year with the Knicks, though. Yeah, but that was a Fizdale issue. That wasn't, the talent was still there. It's not like he had a humongous drop-off. Jones went from the pinnacle down to the basement. And I think that's what we got. That's what we got to look at. Let's see here. Where am I here? Whoops. Let's see here. I'm a big fan of Mac. He's going to have a great year, though. I think he's similar set. I think he's got a similar set to Tom, but he's the GOAT, man. I mean, Tom was the GOAT. You're replacing the GOAT. No disrespect, but I wish you would have taken a quarterback in the draft. No disrespect. I'm not disrespected. There's no disrespect intended there. I think the Saquon pick doesn't. I still don't think Saquon is the wrong pick. I think he's the right pick. I think he was the right pick at the time. And outside of Josh Allen, I mean, who would you have wanted? Some dude said DJ was better.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
That's what we're going to go with. Also, did Roy ever return? No. Media is also saying Dak will be the comeback. Dak, if he plays well, could be the comeback player of the year. I mean, he was probably going to pass for 5,000, 6,000 yards until he got hurt. It was crazy, the shootouts they had. Yeah, we could have had two Josh Allens on the same team. Oh, Saeed, man. Don't bring up Kentucky Josh Allen. Kentucky rain is rolling down. All up ahead, another towns I was walking through. Sorry, I'm doing Elvis Kentucky Rain. 2018 draft looked really bad. Saquon is the only hope for us now. Yes, the draft is. I don't like looking back at the draft because it doesn't make me cry. If Saquon does not pan out, our entire draft was a waste. And did I read it right? Did we just sign Kyle Lauletta to the practice squad? If we took a quarterback, we'd probably been the same thing now. Assuming down, yeah. I think if we would have took a quarterback, it wouldn't have been any different. No, I wished took Nelson in 18, Chubb. Yeah, I mean, but again, it's hindsight. It's hindsight. Let's see here. I feel if the Browns didn't draft Baker, the Giants would have drafted him. I don't know if they would have, to be honest. I don't know if he would have gotten past the Jets. I don't think he would have. Roy for Heisman. I can see that. Your opinion on people saying that we have a top 5 defense. Well, Colin, I'm going to tell you this. I think we have at least a top 10 defense. I can't say we have a top 5 defense when you do not have any true edge on this team. You have no defensive ends. None whatsoever. You're going to be relying on some of your safeties to fill into the linebacker roles and go back into the box. You are hoping that the loss of Dalvin Tomlinson can be covered up by 2 players in Austin Johnson and Danny Shelton. And you have to understand that the league now has film on the Giants and the schemes and what they like to run in substitutions. So I've said it before, they are not going to be a team of substitutions. They need to be a team of versatility. So a lot of guys are going to have to stay on the field a lot longer, but play multiple positions. Just my opinion. Let's see here. Crazy how Dave's former subordinate Ryan Bean turned out to be a better GM. That's kind of funny. Yeah, you're not wrong. Dinosaur Dave. I like Dinosaur Dave. None of this matters until they start playing. Thank you. And I've been saying this. The clock went to 0 once preseason ended. It's 0 hour. Everything's gone now. Everything is just zeroed out. It's time to start the season. The amount of edges we have, we don't edges. We don't have we have no true edge on this team. And if you think someone like O'Shane Zimenez is going to man that edge against a run, you did not watch. Nobody watched the Cleveland game, and nobody watched the Jet game. Yikes! Yaker doodles. The Giants have the second overall pick, so the Browns are ahead of us. So I wish I would have said they could have drafted Baker if Baker went down to someone else. Yeah. I don't think the Giants would have taken the Baker. Baker is not a Giant quarterback. He doesn't fit the mold of a Giant quarterback. I don't know why. The Giants have this thing about quarterbacks, and especially recently, because you have the Eli Manning model. He may be the early 2004 model, but you got the Eli Manning model. And you got Phil Simms. Phil Simms to me is more Baker Mayfield. But we don't have a George Young pulling the strings. Did not correctly? Would you have No, I did not like Darnold at all. I hated Darnold. I did not think he was going to be a good quarterback. I've said that a bazillion times. I could not ever take Sam Darnold. I didn't watch the Cleveland game or the Jet game, but I think O'Shane will man the edge versus. I don't see that at all, ECK. The first two series against the starters in the Browns, they figured it out right away. They were getting 12, 14 yards on off-tackle runs on both sides because O'Shane can't play the run. He can't play the run. It's not a slight against him. He can't play the run. Taking Lamar Jackson that year, say, come on. I actually liked Lamar Jackson's coming out of school out of Louisville. I liked him a lot. Oh, you meant he won't? Okay. Would have thought about doing a Madden. Have you thought about doing a Madden rebuild? I've done a Madden rebuild. I like Madden. I've been playing Madden since it was just called John Madden Football on the computer. I still have my first copy of Madden 93. I have all the copies since then. I actually worked for Triberon. I can never say Triberon, which is part of EA Sports. And I did 2 years as a Madden tester. It's not as exciting as it sounds. Really not. You keep running the same plays over and over and over again to find glitches in the system. It's not very glamorous. But yeah, I'll do a rebuild. I like doing rebuilds. You make me cry. Lamar and Saquon on the same team would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yes. Sorry, sir. I did see that, ECK. You just say won't. That's okay. Typos happen. I have typos of the mouth half the time. I can't get stuff come out. I strongly dislike the approach we need with Eli Manning type quarterback. It's about winning with the guy. I agree. You know what? I don't care. And I love it because some people say the Giants will never draft a black quarterback. Well, I don't think they. I think they would. I think if the person they thought fit the mold, they would. I don't think that's why they didn't draft Patrick Mahomes. I just think they whiffed on that. Malik Willis. Off tackle right, off tackle right. O'Shane is a poor man. You know what about Golden, though? He could actually play the run. He had like 60 tackles. He could play the run. He also played linebacker. You play fantasy. I stopped playing fantasy 2 years ago. Only because of the fact that I was so awesome at it. Actually, I got kicked out of my league. Kicked out of my league for twofold. I know it's going to be shocking. One was trash talking. And there's a difference between talking trash and talking smack. People don't understand that. And also, I won 3 out of 4 years, so they didn't want me in the league anymore. So I stopped playing fantasy. Baker's too short. He ran away from the police. There's no way he's going to. Yeah, he's not going to be the face of the Giants. You're right. You're not. He wasn't going to be the face of the Giants. He wasn't. He should have been. Well, no, let's not go crazy about that. Let's not go crazy. Tim, did you ever do a giant rebuild and trade and cut me? I'm subscribing. Just kidding. You know what's funny? I never did a giant rebuild in the last couple of years. I did a giant rebuild a couple of years ago. I was doing and I haven't started any seasons yet in 2022. This Madden. Last year I did the Jacksonville Jaguars rebuild. That was actually kind of fun. My dog is a better. Maybe your dog is smarter. Let's see here. I hate the thing of Eli type. It is dumb. It's dumb. You don't need an Eli quarterback. You don't. You just need a quarterback that can win. That's all I care. And I love this before because, people always try to bring, like I said, we talked about a minute ago, people always try to bring in the racial aspect and everything else. I don't care if you're from freaking Pluto. If you can win for the Giants, I don't care. That's like people like, you hate Daniel Jones. I don't hate Daniel Jones. If he wins, he's the greatest quarterback in the world. Call me crazy. You're crazy. I want Riddick as our GM. I like Riddick's honesty. I don't think he would be a good GM, but I like his honesty. I think he should stay where he is. Malik Willis. Daniel Jones is too soft and there's no extra. He does not have, I've said this before, Daniel Jones does not have that wow factor. You knew when Eli Manning got the ball with a minute and a half left in the fourth quarter that he was going to drive the team down for a win. He did it. Like I said, even in Pat Shermer's first year, he did that 6 games under 2 minutes, gave the team the lead, and the defense lost it. He did that late in his career. Malik Willis. That's going to be my new thing. That's going to be the new sound like Malik Willis. Let's see. I wish the Duck had stayed in college last year and come out the same year as Collar. DJ would. I hated when Justin stayed in college. I did a whole video on it. I did a whole video suck for the Duck. And then the dumbass goes back to college. What kind of dumbass goes to college? What, he wants to get an education? I want to be smart. I don't want to be an NFL quarterback and make millions of dollars. Just being facetious. Biggest cap era, at least Mara, one thing named Dolan had sunk the Knicks for nearly 30 years. Yeah, Dolan has, man. He's not a good locker room presence. I hate that thing, not a good locker room presence. Because we don't know. Louis Riddick is worse. Yeah, I don't like Louis. I don't like Louis Riddick. Okay, hard coughing and cursing. Now, John, he's done everything right for the friend. I don't know. John's kind of, Wellington, you're right. Wellington's the guy. It is dumb. Oh, no, I must have missed the comment. Geno Smith, Kyle Edhart, just wanted to talk about. I know. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up soon. We're going to burn through these questions. Reese was better than again. Yeah, I do think Reese is better than, Reese should not be credited with the 2000 Giants. He should be credited with the 2011 Giants. I like Daniel Jones. Let's protect him. Like I said, you got to get on the Daniel Jones bandwagon, man.
It's Daniel Jones at the 5. It's Daniel Jones at never mind.
I don't know who pushed that button. There was someone else pushed that button. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Mara and Reese won the second one. They did 100%. Heard something about Abert staying in college to avoid. I don't think he stayed in college. I don't think he pulled an Eli Manning. I think he just liked being in college. Riddick sucks as a GM. I don't think he's going to be good. Tim, favorite player on the Giants besides me? Evan Ingram. My favorite player on the Giants right now is going to be James Bradbury. And I've already told the story, and I think I posted the video. He was the only, when the Giants come out of the tunnel and stuff at the halftime, especially in the coaches club, there's kids there, and you wave and you put your hands up and you try to get the players high five and stuff. James Bradbury was the only one that waved to my son and, basically give him one of these. So James Bradbury's not on my list. He's on my list of good guys. My wife likes Julian Love because he went over to the tent to make sure a guy who was hurt was okay. Colin Coughlin was still the HC and Ernie Costa. I miss Coughlin. Oh my God, Jerry Roos is better than King of the Almost Sack. You want anything? Oh wait,
he's the king.
He went for the King of the Almost
He's
Catch.
The king of the almost catch.
We're gonna drop that single soon.
King of the almost sack.
We got the King of the Almost Sack out there for you. There you go, and we'll even throw out the.
How dare you question Joe Judge?
We got all the sound effects rolling out this season. We're gonna have new sound effects this season. Are you going to continue doing these? Yes, I am going to do this show every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're actually going to do a preview of the show. We're going to do, it's called Chalk Talk with Online with Big Blue. But we will be doing it every week, every Sunday before the games. He did draft Landon Collins, and they're both off the team. Gelman, yeah, I'm going to draft nobody. You're right. Yes, everyone knows Gettleman sucks. He drops a second. It's interesting about that. And I understand the philosophy about that. You don't take a running back that high. But if you think a running back is going to be Walter Payton or Barry Sanders, you got to take your shot. Here we go. And Reese oversaw and drafting guys like JPP and found a receiver like Cruz and contributed to the second. Yeah, I've said this a million times. I do not credit Reese with the first win in 2007. I do credit him 100% with the win in 2011 because that was Ernie Accorsi's team because he had just retired the year before. And if you look at the guys that he signed at free agents and the guys that draft that built that roster. In Reese did have a good draft in 2011. King of the almost sock. Let's see here. Mara didn't hire Reese himself. Ernie Corsi chose Reese. Yes, Ernie Corsi did choose Reese as a successor. Yeah, a lot of people forget about that. Reese was hit or miss on steroids. Yeah, Reese, actually, it's actually a very good analogy. Reese was a hit or miss. He either had awesome picks or they were just god awful. When's Nate Ebner coming? I hate Nate Ebner. I don't hate him personally. I hate him because he doesn't deserve to be on a freaking NFL roster. You want to rant? Nate Ebner should not be on an NFL roster. I shouldn't be on an NFL roster. But I think I could contribute more to the team than Nate Ebner. He's a special teamer who can't do anything else because we saw last year he couldn't play any type of defense. And I've said this about David Sills. I'm not a David Sills hater. If he would have made the team, I would have been fine with it. But you can't have a fifth or sixth wide receiver who can't play special teams. You can't have a special teamer that doesn't do anything else. Does nothing else. Does he hold for the kicker? No. Does he snap the ball? No. I can understand having a long snapper. I would rather have two long snappers than Nate Ebner because at least the long snapper has the ability to affect the game. I don't think Nate Ebner does that. Sorry. No, with the middle line. Okay. Oh, I'm glad I got that up chest. Hey, Michael, what's going on? What's going on, my friend? You're a little late. We're wrapping up. Frank, how you doing? Will you be doing the show in the parking lot this Sunday or from home? I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to go to the game. I got a lot going on in life right now. I'll always watch the game, but I don't know. No, I don't know if he's 100% back yet, but they want to bring him back. We'll figure it out, Frank. You going to the game, Frank? DeAndre Baker, Daniel Jones is much better than Andrew Thomas compared to Eric Flowers. Yeah, I don't want to talk about any of those guys. Breaking, Nate Ebner is now a starter for the Giants. If Nate Ebner becomes a starter for the Giants, I quit. I will turn off the channel. I will go sit down on the couch and have a beer. And I will not get up until the season's over. Can you have a Sam Beal rant? Let's see. Wait, can he? You know what's funny about Sam Beal? I would love to rant about Sam Beal, but he didn't play horrible. He actually played. He didn't play atrociously. Now we'll see what he is going to do in the season, but I might have a rant then. Imagine vaulting her. Yeah, I just don't get Nate Ebner. He's a locker room guy. He's a judge guy. I get that. He is a proven. He actually is a proven felon. He's actually, if you think about it, Sam Beal is more of a felon than DeAndre Baker.
How dare you question Joe Judge?
How dare you question Joe Judge about that? This team, man, it'll be fun, guys. It'll be a good season. I remember the Bears game when Ebner took it. Thank you, Saeed. I talk about the Bears game all the time with Nate Ebner. Look at the play in the end zone. Yeah, Isaac Yiadom didn't turn around, but who was also out of position? Old Nate Ebner. Oh my God, they were picking on him. When you get picked on by what's his name, Trubisky, you got problems. Trubisky shouldn't be picking on anybody. He actually looked good the other day, Trubisky. Matthew Slater, as long as you're not, all we need is Matthew Slater. Yeah, this game is, let's see here. Isaac Yiadom is terrible. Isaac Yiadom, man. Yeah, Isaac Yiadom. I want DeAndre back. At least he was innocent. Yeah. Ran about Darius Slayton actually overrated. See, I don't think Darius Slayton's overrated. I think he fell into the sophomore slump, and I said it was probably going to happen because the league adjusted to him, and he didn't do his film study, and he got exposed. I think with the addition of Kenny, they're not going to be able to double team him, and he's going to find some more wide open looks as long as Dan Jones can get on the ball. Anders needs to stay ready for he's got to get ready for the Olympics. He should start training for the Olympics now. Slayton is a third wide receiver. Yeah, not everyone's a number one. Like, I know I'm a number one. That's what my mom always says. You're the greatest. Reese was calling the shots under a course scene. He was calling the drafts. He was the draft guru. He wasn't calling the shots. He was doing the scouting. We don't know what Josh Jackson has. 2 bad years in a row. 11 starts or 4 starts in 2 years. I don't know what he's doing. You stick to rugby. I think I'm going to stick to rugby. Tevin Wade. I actually remember Tevin Wade. Let's see here. Rant about Isaac Item goes over mistakes he made. Oh God, that would, ECK. I don't have enough rants for Isaac Items. I still have the money for the bus ticket. We raised $1.47 to send him out of town. Yeah, but you just need to get him off the team. He was a pain. I like Ryan Lewis. Ryan Lewis, Gerard Hosley. Oh my God, Hosley, man. Hosley was bad. My girlfriend and I will be at the game. I have some colleagues and longtime friends going. Hope to see you there. Yeah, like I said, if I go, but I think I got a lot going on. I'm gonna try, but if I go, I'll let everyone know where I'm at. I'm always in the platinum zone, right by the Verizon Center, or towards the first row. That's where I always park. Why? Because you just jet right out and you go right onto 95, right onto the turnpike. Little giant stadium secret. Nate Everson Sanfield in the photos. What would you do for the Klondike bar? Yeah. You gotta believe in Slayton. Hosley, man. Hosley was a bust. Not anymore. No. Now I just get him on the secondary market. I like sitting in the coaches club, so I mean those seats are way too expensive to get from the Giants. You get them from the secondary market, and it's great, man. I mean, I love the coaches club. It's the most overrated college football team in the world. Yeah, Oklahoma just looks terrible. Breaking news: Joe Judge is the contact with Devontae. That would be a rant. That would be a rant, man. That would be a rant. I would probably rant on for the next 45 minutes about that one. If Joe Judge offered you a spot on the staff, would you take it? Why would he offer me a spot on the staff? I'm going to tell you guys something right now. I worked in the sport. I played the sport. But I'm going to tell you right this. No YouTuber, nobody on Twitter, nobody at all should ever go on an NFL staff. You want to rant? We're just a bunch of dumb guys on YouTube who have opinions. Some people try to frame their opinions like they know something and it's fact. And most of the time they're wrong, but we're just a bunch of dumbasses. I've seen the inner workings of the NFL. No one on YouTube could ever survive in the NFL. No one ever. Ever. That's my rant. Sure, I would take it. Sure, I would. I'll be at the Washington home game. I don't think I want to go. I like the Washington games. I'll probably go to. I might go to that one. Who got last pass as a Packer? His mom. I don't know. Corey Webster. But wait a minute. That's a good one. That was a good one. Wait a minute. I ruined that. Who caught? Here, we got to do this the right way. So who caught Brett Favre's last pass as a Packer? Corey Webster. Hey-o. I want Tim as a GM. You want to go 0-17? 3 years running? 3 years running? I just get, I want to say I get lucky. I'm fairly accurate, and I love when people say, well, you always preface things by saying, that's your opinion. It is my opinion. That's why I'm saying it. But if you actually go back and listen to what I've said, majority of the time I'm right. Because I think logically. I don't think I got my giant hat on, but I don't have my giant hat on when I make the videos because I like to step outside and look in. A lot of people don't like that. I'd rather have C Webb as a starter alongside Bradbury and Adoree Jackson. Yeah, I would too. I got to see what Adoree does. I like Adoree, but with the injuries, Zach, that's a great thing. Can an opinion be wrong? No, you're right. No, an opinion's not wrong. It's your opinion. And that's all we do. That's all what giant YouTubers and Twitter people, and that's all you do. You give opinions. And It's just people take things the wrong way, and then it's gospel and it's fact. No, we're just a bunch of dummies. Some of these people, you look at them, they never played the sport. How do you, and I never understand sometimes, how do you give an honest, accurate assessment about someone's play and break down their film when you never played, when you never stepped on beyond maybe high school? How do you do that? And that's why I don't do it, because honestly, I mean, I may break down things that I see, but I'm not going to break down somebody's film, because unless you're in their shoes, unless you know what's going on, you don't have the talent or the wherewithal to do that. They can be Zach. Let's see. We're going to wrap this up soon. How can opinion be wrong? Dan Jones, the best quarterback. He's awesome. He's great. I love Dan Jones. Is that opinion wrong? That opinion is wrong. Tell me what you would have done in the past couple of first rounds. I probably still would have gone Saquon Barkley. I would have gone Josh Allen, the defensive end's quasi linebacker. I did like Dexter Lawrence, the pick for Dexter Lawrence, but I would have gone offensive line. I would have gone that direction. What's the difference between Dave Brown? Dave Brown actually had a winning season. Dave Brown had a 9-7 season and actually beat teams with winning records under Dan Reeves. Just throwing that out there. He had a winning season. Most people don't remember he had a winning season. Oh, here, Zach did. He had he had one winning season. Kirk Cousins is the best Kirk card in the NFL. Grade A opinion right there. I love some of the opinions, though, because it's just like, but it is, you're right. It's their opinion. That's fine. You can have an opinion. I always tell people, don't attack people for having, I get attacked for having an opinion all the time. But the problem is I have an opinion and I stick to it. And that people get mad that I don't change my opinion, that I don't sit there and go, I should change now because someone told me something. No, I stick to my opinion because it's my opinion. Let's see. Gotta love Dave Brown. Yeah, Dave Brown, man. He was something. Ken Graham actually beat an unbeaten Broncos. Most people, and he brought him back from behind. Ken Graham, though, was a bum. He had these flashes. I remember a game against Washington. He had flashes. Same with Danny Cannell. He had flashes. And the Giants thought they had something with Cannell and Graham after that playoff season with Danny Cannell's first starting season. And then the wheels just fell off the bus. Tim is going The Voice. I don't know what that means. Is that a TV show? Is that a TV show? I don't watch TV. I'm too busy being on YouTube to watch TV. I don't like TV, to be honest. I watch the old episodes of The Office. I like movies. I watch a lot of movies, and I watch a lot of bad movies. I was watching Iron Eagle 4 the other day on YouTube, which was pretty funny because Doug Masters died in Iron Eagle 2, and somehow they brought him back in Iron Eagle 4. I had to see how that happened. Do you think the Giants will have a respectable built linebacker core? You know what? Outside of Blake Martinez, maybe Tate Crowder and Carter Coughlin, and if Reggie Ragland can play the run, of course, but the rest is a mess. DJ is Dennis Scott Jr. without the Dennis Scott Jr. He just signed with Portland. I saw. Roll all the effects. All right, you know what's a good idea? Let's. Yes, MB. Oh, wait a minute. We're gonna roll all the effects, but I want to see what the voice is. Yes, Ken Graham going to have flashes. They had flashes. Yes, NBC The Voice is a singing show. Oh, okay, I thought that was a singing show. That's not the one where they dance around the masks, right? Or is that a different show? I love trash entertainment. I love trashy movies. My wife yells at me because I watch all these really bad movies. I was trying to watch, and I wanted to go back and watch it when she left the room. But there was this movie about a two-headed shark that was attacking people. It was terrible. I mean, it was god awful. It was bad. I want to see it, though. I kind of want to see what was going to happen with the two-headed shark. It was the attack of the two-headed shark. Do you see movies when the game did you see when the game? No, I did not see that one. Did you see the movie When the Game Stands Tall? No, I did not see that. I watched Bang the Drum Slowly, with Michael Moriarty, the original one with Robert De Niro the other day, about the Yankees. No, that's the Masked Singer. Okay. And which one of the ones where the people dance? Is that Dance Fever or something like that? I got to wrap this up, guys. I'm running late. Let's see here. That's a different show than Masked Singer. Okay. Okay, that's the one that people dance around with masks and you don't know who they are. You know what? Okay. Melanie Griffin. Is it Melanie Griffin that's on that one? I've seen that one. That's about the sex robot in the future. And the guy has his robot breaks down. And he's got to go into the wasteland and get parts. I've seen that one. That's old one. Dancing with the Stars. Dancing with the Stars. Which one? Dancing with the Stars. That's the that's the one that that's one with the people dance. That's a dance competition one. That's the people dance and then they all fall in love with each other and then they break up the marriages and stuff. If it wasn't for my wife telling me about pop culture, I wouldn't know anything. Yeah. Much respect. Is it Melanie Griffin in that movie? I can't remember if it's Melanie Griffin in that movie. I think it is. If you had one from another team to add the Giants for free, who would it be? Can't be an offensive lineman. Patrick Mahomes. I don't even need to think twice about that. Yes, I am the king of bad movies. I mean, like really bad movies. You ever seen When Hell Comes to Frogtown with Roddy Piper? It's same kind of vibe. That's a really bad movie. Of course, They Live. You know, you gotta have They Live, man. Everyone, that's your homework. Go watch They Live.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Okay, so it was Melanie Griffin. Okay. It's about the DeSalle winning streak that broke. Oh, I did not see that one, but I saw the previews for that one. Let's see here. The Last Starfighter with Lance Guest. Yes, I've seen that. Centauri is the guy that is the alien that recruits him to fight. And I love the line at the end where the bad guys are crashing into the defense zone, and they has a guy piece that goes like, and the one guy goes, "Sir, we've lost forward controls in this. What should we do?" And he goes, "Prepare to die." And then they crash into the defense zone. Let's see. Let's see here. We're gonna have a classic line. That is a good classic line. Oh God, I gotta roll the effects. All right, you know what? We're gonna Tim's movie reviews. I could do movie reviews because I've seen every bad movie in history of the world. But you know what? For ECK Start, we're gonna close this out. And I am gonna roll the effects for everyone. We are gonna start with. Let's see, where are we gonna start? We're gonna start. Here we go. We're gonna roll the effects and close this one out.
It's Daniel Jones at the 5. It's Daniel Jones at never mind.
King of the almost sack.
He's the king. He's the king of the almost catch.
How dare you question Joe Judge?
Tim, are you going to make a prediction schedule soon? Yes, it will be soon. It's going to be probably on Wednesday before the kickoff. So I will have the prediction show. We are going to close it out tonight, guys. We kind of ran a little bit late. Thank you for King of the Almost Sack being legendary. Thank you, ECK Sport. A lot of fun tonight. I actually enjoy talking about movies. I could talk about movies for hours. I'm probably going to go watch some bad movies now. Will Pro Football Focus ever get a sound effect? I will have to make a Pro Football Focus sound effect. If you want me to make a sound effects, email me at onlineBigBlue@gmail.com and I'll make a sound effect for you. I'll do it all. But you know what, guys? We're going to have a lot of videos coming out the week. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you saw the video today about Andrew Thomas and Will Hernandez being the kryptonite to Andrew Thomas. If you're not, go check it out. Hope everyone has a great weekend. If you have off tomorrow, enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Be safe out there. I know a lot of people. I know some people recently who actually have gotten COVID. So take it seriously. Believe in it. If you don't believe in it, just wear a mask because you know what? You're not only protecting yourself, you're protecting other people. And let's just go from there. Hey, Tyrone, what's going on? Back on, Joe. What's your record for the season? You know what? I'm going to say 7 to 8 wins, but I'm not going to tell you the rest until Wednesday. All videos must be liked. Thank you. All videos must be liked. Do all that stuff. Guys, I'm out of here. I'm really late today. I just had a lot to talk about, but you know what, guys, I appreciate it as always. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for the people that subscribe all the time and leave some fantastic comments. You guys are fantastic. Hope you all have a great Labor Day weekend. And you know what? We're going to be seeing you a lot this season. We're going to have a lot of good videos coming out, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Have a good night.